In 1976, Kenya became the first country to sign a national indicative program for cooperation with the European Community under the first Lome Convention. A partnership was established that was destined to last. The challenges facing Kenya are to achieve sustainable economic growth and to reduce levels of poverty. This is a story of hundreds of young people, skills in trade, poverty reduction among vulnerable youths, restoring lost hope, works of empowering the society. Kenya has a population of about 40 million, 35% of which are youth aged between 18 to 35 years old. In Kenya, education is highly valued. It is seen as an important avenue towards economic opportunities and social mobility, as well as an indicator of social status. The 844 system of education offered is geared towards imparting appropriate skills to enhance self-employment. But because of high costs, poverty, and lack of facilities, most of the youth either drop out of school or graduate without necessary skills for self-employment. Most of the training institutions in Kenya are either inadequate or lack the essential facilities and technology to prepare students for the challenging market demands. In most cases, there is no linkage between the training institutions and either the formal or informal Jua Kali sector. The youth trained in these institutions cannot therefore be immediately absorbed into the job market. It was increasingly clear that there was a gap between the training offered in the institutions that existed and the relevance to the job market. 4 partners working with various institutions in parts of Nairobi slums, the rural areas of Laikipia and Kilifi, and the arid and semi-arid lands of eastern Kenya applied for funding from the EU to implement a vocational skills training project among the vulnerable youth. The aim of this project was to bridge the gap of training to increase employability among the youth and to instill a business mind in them. AVC Foundation, one of the partners, is working with St. Kizito Vocational Training Institute in Kibera slums of Nairobi to offer technical skills to the youth in the slum.
The idea of these projects started after a long experience of partnership with let us say the 4 organizations involved in these projects. The contribution of St. Kizito is always the most important aspect in particular in facing the problems.
Watoto wa Rwanga has been there here for the last 20 years working with the community, but for those years the gain was not felt like now that we have started vocational training, because we have seen that once we train a child from a family and we are able to get them a job, the income level of the family changes.
The various disciplines that we have here are the newest course, which is the mechanics department. The training runs for 1 year. We have electrical, installation and fitting. Also the training runs for 1 year. We have carpentry and joinery also. We have food production, runs for 6 months. We have adult literacy, which is open to the parents, and they come to learn with specific, they come to the school to learn specifics. And the last but not least is handicraft development, which entails training the parents for 1 month.
COA is a Companionship of Works Association. Companionship of Works Association, we deal with the youth that are looking for jobs. We try to link them with the labor market. But again, there are others that don't want to look for jobs, and we try to help them start their own micro enterprises. So we train them in business training and business skills. And then since also they need a support mechanism, we try to form them into small groups.
The other partner is Site Enterprise. Site works with youth polytechnics in the arid and semi-arid lands of eastern Kenya. They run a program dubbed VISTEC, which stands for Vocational Skills Training for Enterprise Capacity.
We started with 6 youth polytechnics. We started with working with the Board of Governors and representatives of the management to come up with the capacity building plans. So for us as implementing staff, we were able to go through tools that helped us work with the Board of Governors and also the management to be able to come up with plans for the institutions.
In the institution, we have various courses that we train. We have regular courses and short courses.
We are targeting people who have gone through their primary school and for one reason or the other cannot go beyond that. And the other group is those people who have gone up to secondary school level, and also for some reason or the other they cannot go beyond that. And anybody else who can fall in between the two categories and they are interested in coming.
The VISTEC project have trained the instructors on Fendankonji issues, whereby the instructors are able to prepare the schemes of work, lesson plan and the record of work. So the service they are delivering to the trainees, they are giving the quality training.
The other partner is KNH, working with 3 institutions in Nairobi and rural Laikipia, reaching out to vulnerable youths, equipping them with skills that will enhance their employability and building a business mind in them.
We started the project of the skills training and enterprise development and KNH from Germany. We learned that there is already an opportunity of funding from the EU, which through a partnership of 3 organizations, that is PCA City Community Center, ADCITC in Nanyuki, and also Nairobi within Nairobi, we applied for the funding through an introduction of KNH to the EU.
To enhance their employability, we offer technical skills in different trades and also life skills and entrepreneur skills to help them be able to earn a living.
We work with community-based organizations who are the ones who send us the students, then we train them, and we do this because we want the students to have a sense of responsibility, that they can always go back to the community and do something.
And in the coastal town of Kilifi, IECD, the 4th partner, is working with Tewa Training Institute that empowers young women for sustainability.
Most of the parents here, for the girl child, they prefer once the girl matures up, she's married off, because they look at a girl child as an income. Kianda Foundation, it came to the right place, and especially being its women empowerment, girl child education, because that's the biggest problem in this area. So we were able to educate the girls because the European Union took over the running expenses, the equipment that we are using to educate these girls. We also have a part of the extension that they did for the training unit for the girls where they can do more practice. The European Union also built for us outreach classes that have been of great help, because without the donors, this project would not be possible.
For the project to be a success, it was important to involve the community where the institutions are based. Working with the local self-help groups, community-based organizations and other community players was important to gain penetration and perception change among the youth and the community around the institutions.
And the community has taken ownership of this. The only challenge, what we are trying to tell them is that this institution is theirs. It is our responsibility to make it grow. So visitors are just our partners and may help with this and that.
At first they were a bit hesitant, so we really had to be patient with them, talk to them.
One day I had a chance to visit one of our students who had a problem, and I found that about 8 of my students come from the same locality. So it means that the parents of these students saw that there is a need, there's a value that we're giving to this student, and the admission of the school has grown.
We are happy with the Village Polytechnic. Right now we feel that we own whatever is happening here in the Village Polytechnic for the initiatives that they've taken to include us, the farmers.
Kundi yetu inaitwa Tumaini. Tulianza tukiwa mama 10, tukaanza kusevu mbao. Tuliona ni vyema tuanze chama yetu ndio tuweze kujiinua. Sisi ile kazi sana tunafanyanga kwa PCA, tunawak na CBT. Sisi ndio uanga tunatumiwa kutafuta vijana kwa kijiji, wale wanaenda kutrainwa huko kwa CBT. Ndio juu sisi ndio tunajuanga background yao, venye wanaishi kule tutawatoa, na tena unajua sisi ndio tutawafollow wakiwa kwa training na hata after.
Since this project kicked off, hundreds of young people have benefited. Most of them have been employed, while others have set up their own businesses.
I'm a youth member of KSWP in Kibera. So Nairobi is helping us to change, to take poverty out of us.
Wakati nilimaliza class 8, nikasikia kuna training tango hedhi. Sasa ndio madha akanipeleka huko kufanya interview, wakati nilipita akanileta huku. Sasa wakati nilikuja huku ndio sasa huwa nafanya kazi ya welding. Na iko sawa sana mimi nikiangalia kwa pande yangu.
Pata habari hizi za TEWA na rafiki yangu yetu Nancy Kazungu. Kanieleza kuhusu TEWA, alafu akasema niandike barua ya maombi, alafu ndo nipate hiyo nafasi. Ndo baadaye nikaitwa kwenda kuanza wanafunzi wa TEWA.
As a student in this institution, I managed to get a sponsorship. I was taking packages, and I can say it's like a gift from God.
It is self-employed. Even if I fail to be employed, I can blame myself. I'm in a better place. I'm not lost.
Among the skills trained in this project are carpentry, masonry, welding, beauty therapy and hairdressing, hospitality, ICT, among others.
So our kind of training is not exam oriented. It's based on the needs of the community.
Our work is really to discover more these people, to go deeper in their life, to be more in contact with the community, to discover more their capacity, but also their dramas, their difficulties. In the same time, to be more in contact with the, let us say, the corporate world, the people that the potential employers of these people, and to work more also with them.
Students are taken from Molango Polytechnic. One of them was so good. After she completed her course, I took her for about 2 years until she got married. Then she was out of Kitwe.
The linkages between the institutions running this project with the private sector, the community, and the government has contributed to the success of the project. This has helped in creating avenues for the youth who have gone through the program.
The whole idea of youth training is that we will be able to impact the youth with the necessary vocational skills to go out and A, be employed, or B, self-employed. Trainees we have produced over the years that have been here get employment immediately.
I heard of Nairobi through our group. That's when I joined. I got the training and I got the skills. I got a job here. Now I can support myself. I cannot depend on anyone.
Hii shule ilitutafutia mahali kwa attachment. Sasa wakaonelea mimi ni Vipingo Ridge. Wenye Vipingo Ridge yao management. Nikapata kazi.
Nimesoma Molango Youth Polytechnic. Nimefanya ya dressing na beauty therapy. nimemaliza, and then nimeenda attachment in Nairobi. Nimefanya attachment for 1 month, and then wameniajiri kazi.
To improve community participation, short courses were introduced. These courses are both community and institutional based.
Kwa kitu moja nimejifunza kutoka kwa hii shule. Nilikuwa hapo mbeleni naendesha motorbike kiolela. Lakini tangu nikuje shule nimejifunza sheria za barabara.
Recently we had a gathering here whereby the village was hosting its graduation, and all the farmer groups were called in. During that time, the farmers took time to identify the projects of their wish, the projects that they would like to be identified with, and as a result, the farmers requested for a training.
With this funding, the institutions have been able to put up classes, equip workshops, strengthen institutional governance and capacity building among the various players. One of the outcomes of this project was to ensure sustainability in each of the institutions. Each institution is working towards self-sustainability.
As a result of this funding, to put in place sustainability mechanism by introducing what we call the production unit. So almost every department is able to run itself.
The success of this project has left hundreds of youth empowered to take on the future. This is but a fraction of the youth population in the country. There is need to spread out and reach many more, especially in the remaining parts of the country.
We have developed what we are calling a community-based training framework that we are seeking to ensure that the government is able to adapt it to reach a wider number of youths.
Upande wa wasichana, pesa mkononi. Tuguza tu kichwa namna hii pesa. Tuna vitu vingi hapa, nguo za mjini ambazo zimechakaa, zimetupwa hivi, wanarokota, wanakatakata, wanaifa cushions za viti. One, tumewatoa kwa mahali ya unywaji wa pombe. Secondly, unakuta mtu anajisimamia mwenyewe, hasumbui wazazi. Na kwa hivyo tunaona ni kitu ya maana sana, na tungetaka sana kuwazidisha, kuwapa nguvu zaidi ili wazidi kuendelea sana na kufanya wengine nao wapendelee kufanya jambo hili.
Nisaidika juu nilikuwa kwa nyumba singepata pesa yangu, lakini sasa napatanga ile tu kidogo kidogo.
We are assured of having skills after school. I'm assured of having job.
Nilipomaliza kile kidogo ambayo inapata hapa, naona pia kuna urahisi wa kuwa pia nasaidia wale ndugu zangu. Sasa penye ugumu nasaidia.
I'm hoping to get a good job, to be a great designer and developer in the world. Second, I would like to also to give back to the community, just the same way I've benefited out of it.
With the passing of each day, each of these young people will wake up to a fulfilled life and a restored hope. Thanks to the Vocational Skills Training Project, co-funded by the European Union, KNH, AFSI, SITE, and IECD.